Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I am loving that you guys are appreciating and enjoying the book and movie and podcast content that I've been putting out recently. So I'm going to go ahead and continue that with my unboxing for both the April and May Owlcrate boxes that I have picked up. There's a lot of really fun goodies in here, so I can't wait to show them to you guys. So for the month of April, the theme was shadows and secrets, and there are just some really just fun things that they've included in here. First up, they have these pencils that have different like Harry Potter statements on them. The first is, "I solemnly swear that I am up to no good." You have the property of the Half-Blood Prince pencil. I think these are just really fun, and again, I appreciate whenever they include like practical and usable fan items in here. The last one that they have in the little trio is Mischief Managed. I'm actually going to Universal's Harry Potter World for my bachelorette party. I'm super nerdy and super excited about it, so I think these are really fun, and I can't wait to bring these into my classroom and just like use them throughout. I love this. We also got a exclusive excerpt booklet from an upcoming sequel. This is the book by Stephanie Garber called Legendary. I want to say it was last spring maybe, we were sent the Caraval novel in our Owlcrate books, and I chewed that book up. I loved it so much. I did not think or have any inclination that there was going to be a follow-up book to it. It's kind of like the blessing and curse of young adult literature. I feel like a lot of times they turn what should be a nice standalone book into like a series, but I'm excited about this. I'm curious to read the actual insert. We also got some coffee from Bones Coffee. This is Deadly Dark Chocolate and Sea Salt. It's a medium roast. I don't drink coffee, but I'm sure Ben will get use out of this. I think this is a fun little thing to toss in here as well. I think the packaging on here is really fun too. Additionally, in here there is the Wild Berry Shadow Hunter handcrafted bar soap from Three Sisters Apothecary. I feel like the box on here is really fun to slide it out. The soap itself is really beautiful, and you can tell like they took the time to just like marbleize it. The berry note in here isn't super strong, but that might change once I'm actually using it in the shower. There's also another pillowcase. We've gotten one before that I absolutely have and love. It's so beautiful, and this one is no exception. You can see what it looks like on here. I really like them, and they're actually really soft to sleep with, so I'll probably wash this and toss it on another one of our pillows. We also got included in here is our like little Owlcrate magazine, which has an interview from the author. They show us the one that's in stores and like the one that we got in the Owlcrate box. It just has like some fun little like informational things that I like to read about, so I always stick these inside the book, and when I go to read the book, I'll reread this. Speaking of the book, we were given the Ace of Shades by Amanda Foodie. It has a really interesting cover on here. We also got some like little extras in here. They gave us a couple of postcards, and then they also gave us a map, which is a postcard as well of the like setting. I like it when we get things like this because it just helps like further capture what's in the author's mind, which always really intrigues me. So I'll probably save this one and use it as a bookmark. So without further ado, let's talk about what this book is actually about. According to the insert, it says, N. Salta was raised as a proper young lady, and no lady would willingly visit New Rays, the so-called city of sin. But when her mother goes missing, N must leave her finishing school and her reputation behind to follow her mother's trail to the city where no one survives uncorrupted. Frightened and alone, N has only one lead, the name Levy Glacier. Unfortunately, Levy is not the gentleman she expected. He's a street lord and con man. Levy is also only one payment away from cleaning up a rapidly unraveling investment scam, so he doesn't have time to investigate a woman leading a dangerous double life. N's offer of compensation, however, could be the solution to all of his problems. Their search for clues leads them through glamorous casinos, illicit cabarets, and into the clutches of a ruthless mafia donna. As N unearths an impossible secret about her past, Levy's enemies catch up to them, ensnaring them in a vicious execution game where the players always lose. To save him, N must surrender herself to the city, and she'll need to play. So definitely not the kind of book I would necessarily gravitate towards, but it sounds like it definitely has some interesting twists and turns to it. I also like in here that with the chapters, they have these really pretty printings. I've noticed this becoming more and more a trend with young adult books that I've been reading, and I think it's awesome. I think it just really helps add like an extra fun touch when you're reading, and so I'm just excited about it. So it's a book that I'll definitely probably be pouring through this summer. I have a ton of books I want to read this summer, but it sounds really interesting and not something I would normally gravitate towards, so I'm curious. All right, now on to the May Fight Like a Girl. Look at that nice little ginger warrior. We also got this artwork. I laminate these and hang these up in my classroom as just like fun little bonus things. I also laminate the Owlcrate cards usually and hang them up as well because I always put fun art on them. The first thing we got is this bookmark with two different sayings on it. The first side says, "You are strong, fierce, capable beyond measure." And the back side says, "If I am marching to my death, then I will march to it as a girl without fear." This is really pretty. Definitely not the most sturdy bookmark we've been given, but the artwork on here is really beautiful. We also have the little magazine that they throw in here, which, like I said, I will put into my books and save them for when I actually read them, because I like to hear, especially the interview with author pages, that they always ask like 4 or 5 really interesting questions, I think. We were given some hangable art in this month's box. This says, "Remember that you are a wolf and cannot be caged." I think this is really pretty. It's not too big or in your face. Definitely something that I'll be putting in my classroom, as I do with a lot of the artsy things that we get in here. But it's something that, unlike the tapestry that we were given a couple of months ago, I feel like I probably would hang this up somewhere in our apartment if I didn't have a classroom with which to put it. But I just think it's a really powerful message to send, so I want to be able to hang this up. I think this is really, really cool. We were also given this special Owlcrate edition Zelly's Magic Bath Bomb. Like, the art on here is just so interesting, like the amount of time this must have taken. This is also a really big bath bomb. I don't know if they gave us the scents. The scents aren't listed for us, and it's got this nice packaging on it, so I'm not going to open it, but I just think it's really, really pretty and can't wait to use it. The next thing we got was this pin. It says, "When in doubt, go to the library." I'm not a big pin wearer, but I want to try to find other ways to wear them. I personally love this one. It's one of the few pins we've gotten that I really am like, yes, I like this message a lot. It's also really, really cute, so I'm definitely going to find a way to wear this around. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. This doesn't happen very often, but in this month we were sent 2 books. The first book is by Kayla Kean. It says Catching Stars. It has a really interesting cover on it. I'll read the back. It says, "Jane Ijid, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, is in hiding. A witch with powerful abilities, she carves out a life for herself in the slums of Pavel, a city rotting from the inside out. When an old acquaintance tracks her down, Jane is dragged back into a world she tried to escape and is determined to escape again. Maddox Kell is on the run. After 2 years in prison for crimes he did not commit, Maddox escapes and seeks out a legendary order of witch hunters who are his only chance to find justice. But all is not as it seems, and Maddox soon finds himself on the run from the people he sought as allies. When their paths collide, Jane and Maddox must put aside their prejudices and forge an uneasy alliance that could crumble at any moment. But if they want to survive in Aces, a brutal kingdom where magic and corruption lie hand in hand and enemies lurk around every corner, they must first survive each other." Definitely sounds interesting. If it's paperback, it means it's been out for a while, but I've never heard of it, so I'll be very curious to see what this is like. Featured book for this month, though, has a super beautiful and intriguing cover. It's called Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. Oh, like, look at that. That's so intriguing. The general premise of this, it says, "Raised to be a warrior, 17-year-old Elin fights alongside her Aska clansmen in an ancient rivalry against the Ricky clan. Her life is brutal but simple, fight and survive, until the day she sees the impossible on the battlefield, her brother fighting with the enemy, the brother she watched die 5 years ago. Faced with her brother's betrayal, she must survive the winter in the mountains with the Riki in a village where every neighbor is an enemy. Every battle scar, possibly one, she delivered. But when the Riki village is raided by a ruthless clan thought to be a legend, Elin is even more desperate to get back to her beloved family. She is given no choice but to trust Fisk, her brother's friend, who sees her as a threat. They must do the impossible, unite the clans to fight together, or risk being slaughtered one by one. Driven by a love for her clan and her growing love for Fisk, Elin must confront her own definition of loyalty and family while daring to put her faith in the people she's spent her life hating. So really interesting premise. I'm not necessarily into like Viking clan stories naturally, but this one sounds like it's going to be a good one. So this is definitely going to the top of my reading pile. I really want to know what this is about. It's so intriguing and so beautiful. So really happy to have gotten this. Ooh, that was a lot, but as always, I'll definitely follow up with some book reviews once I get these read, and I'd be curious to know if you've tried Owlcrate, if you've heard of any of this stuff in these boxes. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll talk to you in my next video real soon. Bye!